Good morning, soldiers. This is Sergeant Merrill, and today we're going to be taking a much closer look at the MK48 and how it fares in Black Ops 2. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you to meet the MK48 Mod 1. Over the next few minutes, we're going to get reacquainted with this weapon, and I say reacquainted because a lot of you already know what she is. She's an M249 upscaled, so instead of firing the 5.56 round, she fires a 7.62. The MK48 was developed back in 2003 by FN Herstal when the United States military was looking for a lighter 7.62 light machine gun. Previously, they were working with the M60, and the M60 is one hell of a heavy gun. It's like 25 pounds. So you may be happy to have the extra firepower once the fight starts, but believe me, after 6 miles on a ruck march carrying a 25-pound weapon, you're just gonna break down. You'll be like, I don't want it anymore. I mean, even with weapons like the M249, which only weighs around 18 pounds, you'd still see the guy back there in the automatic rifleman position just really upset that he had to carry the heavier weapon, which is why you've seen weapons like the M27 IAR come into more success and be much more popular with soldiers. But it wasn't just the weight that was holding the M60 back. There were a lot of complaints, and basically when it came right down to it, it wasn't as reliable as a weapon as was needed in a combat scenario, and that's where FN Herstal came in with its already popular M249 series, upgraded it and said, here you go, this is what you can use, and it's lighter. So here we have just another weapon that lends to the brilliance of FN Herstal and how they have a tendency to just sweep in front of everybody and say, nope, we got something better. But even still, this has been 10 years since the development of this weapon, and we've seen the whole strategy behind the automatic rifleman position change quite a bit. Much more toward even lighter weapons, much more mobility for the person in this position, and you're going to see weapons like this being slowly phased out. As far as its visual representation in the game, again, I thought they did a pretty decent job. And there's some things that I really like that they did with the animations with this weapon that you don't see them taking the same care with the other weapons, like the shotguns. They actually show the disintegrating belt, the actual clips on the belt coming out of the side, which that's not something I would normally expect from Black Ops or from Call of Duty in general. That's usually a step that most games skip. Now, the rounds shown here are supposed to be 7.62, but they look a little fat, if you ask me. They don't look quite right. So I'm not sure what round they're actually portraying here, but it doesn't look like a 7.62 like it's supposed to be. Now, the only thing that's actually written, that's legible on the weapon, is where it shows that it's a 7.62 MK48, and then what mod it is, it's kind of scratched out, doesn't really show. But I'm guessing it's a mod 1 because that's the last mod that was developed for this weapon, and this is supposed to take place in 2025. So, you know what? Maybe it's like a mod 4. Who knows? Now, as far as how it fares in game, I have my gripes with the light machine guns, and I'll explain that in a second, but I do want to say how awesome the recoil on this weapon is. I'm sorry to say, though, it has no basis in reality, because this is an 18-pound weapon, but when you put over 100 rounds on it, it's more like 25 pounds, and it's firing the 7.62 NATO round, which is a heavy round. So keeping that all in mind, and firing unsupported at that, fully automatic at 600 rounds per minute, it's completely unrealistic for you to fire like you can in game within like a softball size target at 50 meters. You just wouldn't be able to do that in real life, but I tell you what, it's awesome in game. So if you are in a good position with this weapon, you are talking about putting some serious lead down range very accurately. But I gotta be honest with you guys, it's really the only thing that I enjoyed about this weapon is being able to put down, 100 rounds or more down range accurately and just hold a position. Other than that, I can't stand the light machine gun class because of all the restrictions that they put on it, which I understand, which means that this class has the same issue in game as it has in real life. The soldiers don't have enough mobility. And it's not just mobility. Your hip fire is worse. Aiming down the sights is slower. I mean, just everything is just like, oh my God, you're so slow. I mean, Call of Duty is meant to be fast-paced. Even when you die, you can get right back into the fight really quick. But with this class, when I die, I feel like,
oh man, not again. Everybody, stop shooting. Wait for me. Wait for me.
I mean, sure, you could use a tactical insertion and keep yourself close to the fight so you don't have as far to run, but if you ask me, it's just putting a band-aid on a bad situation, because in Call of Duty, it's fast-paced, and even if you try and put more band-aids on it by using dexterity and quick-draw grip and lightweight, you're still at a significant disadvantage because of it. So I'm sorry to say, guys, you may be upset. I don't have a lot of great things to say about, not necessarily the LMGs in Black Ops 2. It's just the light machine gun class in general and the restrictions that they put on it. I mean, the LMG class has some very interesting weapons in it. The hammer is one of my favorites. I mean, it's just such an awesome, very interesting weapon to play with. Definitely creates a unique play style that I appreciated. It's just I just can't stand moving so damn slow. Now, the MK48, it is an interesting weapon, but it has a very strict purpose, which is for you to sit somewhere that is a great line of sight, using the target finder. I hate to be that guy, but that's what this weapon is meant to use. Using the target finder and just taking people out as they come toward an objective. This is not meant for team deathmatch. It's not meant for kill confirmed. It's meant for like demo, domination, game types like that where you know where people are coming from and you know where they're going toward. And you can hold down that line of sight for a particularly long period of time with accurate heavy fire. So as far as what perks and attachments I recommend, again, I recommend the target finder. Extended clip doesn't really give you a great advantage. I mean, it takes forever to reload this weapon, but extended clip, I hate calling it that, but that's what it's called in game, only gives you an extra 35 rounds, which, is weird because in most cases, in most games, when you're using an ammo pouch like this, it gives you an extra 100 rounds. So instead of 100 rounds, you get 200, and that's not the case here. So I can't say that I highly recommend that attachment. Now, as far as what perks, I would definitely use stuff like tac mask, flak jacket, stuff that's going to help you stay in that spot that is going to be your sweet spot. Stay able to, look down that line of sight and continuously kill enemies as they come. Now, in the comment section, I want to know what you guys think of this weapon, especially you LMG fans. There are some people who just love the LMG class in Black Ops 2. I don't know why they're such gluttons for punishment, but they do. So I definitely want to know your thoughts. What makes you enjoy this weapon so much more over some of the other options that can fit its role? And also, yes, I'll answer the question before it comes. I do plan on reviewing all of the weapons in Black Ops 2, including the LMGs. Even though I'm not a big fan of the class, I am a big fan of the weapons that are featured in the class. Like I said, much like with the hammer, there are very interesting things to learn about these weapons and how they're portrayed in the game. That's what I love to do. So don't worry, guys. If you're a huge fan of LMGs, you will see more videos on them. But I hope this video helped you learn more about the MK48, maybe a little bit more about the M249 and the M60 and its troubles. I'm a really big advocate to learning more about these weapons that you play in the game. Not just because I think it helps you, know more about what you're using so often, but also because I think every weapon has its own story and it's very interesting to know. And I also think it maybe helps you perform a little bit better in the game. But that's all I have for this video, guys. Really hope you enjoyed it. This is Sergeant Merrill, out here.